Dear fellow straight white men, and to a lesser extent, the rest of you. Every year in the US, there are 2 mass shootings people care about. Maybe you've heard about a Playbox demo station killing 7 at a Bowling Green's Walmart earlier today. Had it not been for a brave Christian pulling the plug with his automatic assault rifle, this could have turned into a worrying situation. Out of respect for the victims, I've decided to delay today's regularly scheduled video until the next regularly scheduled shooting occurs. I hope you're looking forward to watching episode 8 of Overanalyzing Beyond Good and Evil later today. I know what you're thinking. How are we supposed to protect ourselves from isolated incidents turned violent by video games? Well, first you must understand that the Second Amendment was originally created to counteract the rise of board games. Upon learning this fact, while pretending to research this topic, we have decided to remove all inappropriate contents from our collection.
Okay, Bennett, I figured it out. It was Colonel Mustard with the revolver in the kitchen, and he killed Miss Peacock, Miss Scarlet, Professor Plum, Cleopatra, Gigasaur, 7 thieving lizardmen, Medusa, and Nobes! Sir Francis Drake, and that fucking masked goblin from Foodville. Do I win?
But now we're facing a far bigger threat. While burning board games ultimately led to the end of World War I, burning video games only seems to multiply them. Bulletproof backpacks have been perfected, but no material known to God can protect your children from video games. I must warn you, what you're about to see is deeply disturbing. The recently released GTA variant, Quack Game, is a disgusting endorsement of blind violence. The numbers are not yet in, but it is safe to assume that this video game already killed hundreds. If not directly, then indirectly, by providing extensive military training to troubled American children. Video games are especially nefarious as they draw in the unwashed, impressionable masses more than real safe media like movies or Fox News ever could. I was shocked to find how many dangerous video games my unwashed self had amassed in my own home. For Grand Vizier, by the grace of God, Donald Trump blessed us with heightened understanding of this topic. The same Lord Trump who bravely gave a speech after being hospitalized by a Xbox One controller, and only survived because the handgun he concealed in his shirt pocket deflected the projectile. Did you know that there are only 120 protective firearms per 100 people in the US? With China's recent advancements in so-called digital distribution, video game cartridges and cassette tapes can now be broken down into keys and reconstructed using dubious software such as Steamer or Fortnite. This means a video game could be entering your home through your telephone right now without any physical form. Like a ghost. In fact, the omnipresent and wireless nature of the internet means that there probably is a video game inside of you right now. I urge you, dear viewer, to not underestimate the numerosity and ferocity of video games. Not only are there new video games being deployed every day, but the sheer ease of access when it comes to personal computers and satellite phones makes them a bigger threat than ever. While we haven't felt the need to research the exact numbers, it is now possible that there might be more video games in the US than guns. Now, much like lone shooters, this is nothing to be terribly worried about. Jesus himself said, "Those who live by the sword save many lives and bed many wives." Had Jesus known about guns, he would have said the same about guns. So get yourself another gun today and fire it into the air, knowing that eventually you will hit an airborne video game. Okay, now, obviously, don't do that. America has a problem. According to the Small Arms Survey 2017, oh my god.
Yeah.
That number shocks me there are an estimated 392 million unregistered firearms. How does that happen? And unfortunately, the people who are able and willing to make a difference are few and far between. Guns are the problem, but it's a problem that realistically can't and won't ever be fixed. In the description, you can find a link to a CBS News article where you can find more information on how to help the victims of the shootings that happened to get media attention. Donating money is a nice gesture, but I strongly suggest you look into donating blood. You may have a rare blood type and not know it. And if you ever feel any type of sadness, anger, or hatred that you fear may one day reach a tipping point and may cause you to commit any act of violence, please try to find help. These emotions are not your fault, and you are not crazy. There are people out there who have dedicated their lives to helping others overcome those negative emotions. NAMI offers a free help hotline that you can call if you ever don't know how to cope with those emotions on your own. The fact of the matter is, so long as it's easier to get a gun than to get an appointment with a psychiatrist, these shootings are just going to keep happening. Shootings in the US have become so common that people actually manage to turn it into a business. If you're a parent looking into buying bulletproof backpacks for your children, you might as well give up now. The Amazon search results are full of opportunistic and quite frankly disgusting sellers who will dub their products tactical or bulletproof style. You may find one or two that actually are bulletproof. And remember that people are not above calling something bulletproof even though it's not, just to trick people. Like this ZZT Light Security Vest Bulletproof CS Field Real Tactical Vest Cut-Proof Men and Women Protective Clothing. It's not bulletproof. The seller says so, not on the actual product itself. I understand it's depressing to live in a country where liars and racists endanger you and your children. And that is why in the description I've added a link to a free app called Duolingo. Duolingo is an easy, family-friendly way of learning new languages. Canada and Europe, for example, are far safer places to raise your children. If you are a native English speaker, you will find Norwegian, Swedish, German, and Dutch easy to pick up. If you are a native Spanish speaker, well, they speak that in Spain, but it also shouldn't be too hard for you to learn French, Portuguese, Italian, or Romanian. Moving abroad is not easy, nor is it cheap, but if you do the research ahead of time, I'm sure you can manage. We did. Whether you decide to leave the US or not, so long as you're a US citizen, you are able to vote in US elections, even from abroad. Inform yourself on bills relevant to your state, and know what your local and national representative stance on gun laws are. Only when all of you work together and vote to make your country safer will anything ever change. That's all there really is to say on this subject. Guns are... What? There's a video game behind me, isn't there? Oh shit!